When drawing the human face in a portrait, you first of all can start off with just a line. This line will be about 6 inches long, starting 2 inches from the top. Don't have to make it super dark, okay? But dark enough for me to see, for you to see. And then put a hash mark at the top and a hash mark at the bottom, and that is going to be your line of symmetry, okay? Splitting the face right down the middle. Goes between the eyes, links the nose and the mouth together, and then you put the hash mark up here, top of the head, bottom of the chin, like a very, very long, tall eye. Then you're going to take this length and you're going to split it in half. Okay, if you used a ruler, that's easy. You can just measure it and then find the exact midsection, which is right about here. If you don't have a ruler and you just want to kind of use the measuring technique that I showed you, you put your pencil at one end, your fingers at the other, and then you compare the two sections. Once they are equal, you know that you have chosen your halfway point, and that's where the eye line will go. Okay? What we don't know yet is exactly how wide we're going to go. So we'll just kind of draw a line through here. The line that I used was 6 inches long. Once we have this line here, we're going to separate it into thirds. And again, we use the technique, pencil, fingers, and then compare these sections. This has to come down a little bit lower. Let me try it again. Here to here to here. There we are. So we erase this line here. And now we're going to take this third and we're going to take it from here to here and go from the middle section out 1/3. Go here, and then we're going to go here again. And that's how wide our face is going to be. Okay? So the average proportions of the average face. Eyes are halfway down, and then it is 1/3 of that line going outwards left and right. And at that point, all you have to do is connect the dots. The top of the head is more of a dome, so like a rainbow curve. And then it's like an upside down egg. And we want to leave room for the chin at the bottom. So this curve is a little bit more narrow. And do this nice and lightly so you can make erase marks. Large rainbow curve, a little bit more narrow curve at the bottom, kind of like an egg shape. All right. And we have our eye line and everything else. Double check. Boom, boom. We're still good. Maybe it's a little high. There we go. All right. So that's the more left brain mathematical way. If you kind of want to just freehand it a little bit, you can just create, if you're good at creating larger circles, just create a circle and then add the chin. And so you still end up with an egg shape. And from that point, you figure out, okay, let's see if is that halfway. And yes, it is. And so there's your eye line. Still need your line of symmetry, which is right there. So that's a little bit quicker, but it's less controlled. All right. This, we know that it works. Okay, because all the measurements are there. So you can use whichever method you want to. Just going to erase a little bit here. Now, when you're working from a model or a photograph, trying to make your drawing look like a photographic resemblance is pretty much not something that we're going for the first time out. We're trying to keep everything in proportion. Okay. All right. So just to review, this is about 6 inches long. Halfway, we found the eye line. And then 1/3 of the way up, we split this line into thirds. And we take that third and we go from the inside out to the edge. The eye line is right here. And remember that the space between the eyes is the length of one eye. So I'm going to start in the center and move my way out. And if this is a good guess, then I'll check and I'll go out 1 and then I'll go out 2. So remember, you have to incorporate the ear. Okay. So you have your space between the eyes, the length of one eye, and then a little bit more. Incorporate the ear on the outside, and the width of the eyes, width of the head, width of the face is 5 eyes wide. Okay. And we're just going to put in basic eye shapes. Not going to try to shoot for resemblance just yet. We're just trying to put everything in its proper place. Double check. Space between the eyes is the length of one eye, and we're in good shape. It's right along the eye line, which is exactly halfway. And these are not the eyes of the model we're drawing. These are just basic eyes to locate where they will go. We know that the nose is halfway. Okay. Oh, let's go ahead and put the eyebrows in first. Eyebrows will kind of sit right about here. There's a natural arch to them. This one's going to get cut off by some hair, so we're not going to finish that whole thing. And there's a nice arch to this one on that side. Now, if this is correct, my nose line is halfway between the eyebrows and the chin. All right, it's not halfway between the eye line and the chin. It has to go a little bit higher. And I think we're going to go right about here to locate the bottom of our nose. And we're going to, along the line of symmetry, we're going to draw the contour of the nose, which will sit right between the space of the eyes. And the contour, it's curved at the bottom, raises up on both sides for each nostril, and then curves up the side there. Okay, again, that's not her nose. That's just a nose. Now, what some people will do is that they will create this line that goes up the side. That does not exist. Okay, there is no line that connects this part of the nose to that part of the eyebrow. This is all value. All right, we are not elephants. We do not have a trunk that goes up our nose. It is just value. This is the contour we have to think about. Our mouth is 1/3 of the way down. It's the mouth opening, 1/3 of the way down and 2/3 of the way up, leaving room for the chin. And it's going to be from the inside part of the eye, inside part of the iris. So it tells you how important to place the eyes correctly, because everything else is dependent upon that. The upper lip, again, sits just underneath the nose. The bottom lip is kind of pouty. It's pretty heavy. And the facial features are roughly in the right place. From this point, this oval is no longer effective. Okay, this oval is just a regular oval. It's not going to represent the shape of the person that we are drawing, so it has to be reworked. The model has pretty high cheekbones, and then at the jawline, okay, it's going to turn. It's going to turn inwards. So it angles down from the cheek, angles in from the jawline, and that's true on both sides. And then rounds at the chin. It's very important to pay attention to the distance between the lips and the side of the face. If this is really thin, okay, they're going to look like they're emaciated. If it's really, really thick, they're going to look like they put on way too much weight. Can start erasing some of our guidelines. Line of symmetry can go away. All right. The hair is a big part of this picture, and that we're not going to start with the hair at the top of the skull. This shape right here is going to end up going away. We're going to go and try to locate where the part of the hair starts, which is just below this curve, and then it's going to scoop up and then cascade down, covering up part of the eyebrow, casting shadow a little bit on the face or on the eye, near the eye. And then scoops in front of and right next to the cheekbone of our model. The part goes up in the back, the hair rises, and then comes down the other side. in front of her left shoulder. The other part comes down. We see just a little bit of the ear, and the ear attached to the ear there's some very large hoop earrings. We'll incorporate those as well. The side of the neck to the shoulder comes down between the jawline and the chin. And this hair will go behind the earrings. And then this part of the skull we can get rid of, because the hair is covering it all up. Just lightly put in some texture of the hair. Focus on the direction that the lines are going, the prominent lines, and how this hair will come up and then flip around at this point. There's some shadow cast underneath the chin. Shadow back here. There's going to be some shadow back here. All right. At this point, we want to check everything. We know everything's in the right place. Okay, we've measured it out. Again, the head is 5 eyes wide. The distance between the eyes is the length of one eye. The nose is as wide as the eye separation point. The inside interior part of the iris is showing the width of the mouth. The opening of the mouth is 1/3 of the way down, 2/3 of the way up. We've restructured the side of the face. We've created the hair. And so far, so good. Now we're going to strive for the likeness of the person. So we have to now reshape the eyes, the nose, and the mouth to look like the person that we are drawing. And that takes time as well. But for right now, we've reached a pretty good stopping point. And as far as the line drawing is concerned and showing you the proper proportions, that's what we wanted to accomplish. And then we can pick up on some of the values and shapes next time.